My top tips for starting a beauty no-buy from someone who's in month 7 of a year-long one. I've compiled together a huge list of tips. I know I've definitely made a similar video before, but I've definitely learned a lot along the way, so I wanted to share an updated list of all of my favorite tips. Work out what your triggers are. What happens that causes you to shop? It's important to deal with the triggers because they aren't just going to magically stop because you're on a no-buy, so it's better to be prepared for when they come up. Figure out your why. Why do you want to do a no-buy? And make sure that your reasons are strong enough to keep you going. Are you like me and you have just so many products that a lot of them are going to go to waste? Do you want to figure out what you like before buying more? Do you have debt to pay off? Figure out the reason why you want to do this. Once you've established your why, break it down into milestones of what good looks like. This could be a portion of debt paid off, an amount of time you haven't bought anything, an amount of money saved, an amount of products used up. I work on projects and campaigns every day in my job. And while it's important to have those longer term goals, like say to yourself, I want to do a whole beauty no-buy year, the smaller milestones and achievements is what is going to keep you going and make you feel like you're being successful. You need to celebrate successes along the way. Take stock of your current beauty inventory or whatever you're trying to stop buying. If it's makeup, take a good look at every single thing that you have, because this is going to be so helpful in the future to reduce that temptation. Do this at the start of your no-buy, but also do it throughout your no-buy. So if you're tempted by a certain product like a blush, take stock of your blush inventory and look at it, because that will massively help reduce temptation. Project pans are a really great option if you have a smaller collection, but in my experience, it can be even more beneficial to do things like capsule makeup collections to help you figure out which products you love. Makeup expires so quickly, so focusing on one product until you totally use it up, when you could be testing out 10, is a wasted opportunity for you to discover which products you truly love, which will help reduce temptation in the future. Be kind to yourself and remember these are your own goals and motivations. Nobody is perfect, and failure is just as important as success, especially when you're trying to make a big life change. For the first few weeks, it's going to feel really strange, especially if you shopped a lot like I did. It almost became like muscle memory for me to go onto my favorite beauty websites, to scroll through the new products, to scroll through brands that I love. Put things in place to distract your hands and your mind when temptation comes up like this. I plait my hair, I brush my dog, I read a book, I play stupid games on my phone, I play like Tetris, I play on my Switch, I write down in my notepad, I think of video ideas. Just do something that's going to distract your mind and your hands for that time being. Have a good support system, and this doesn't need to be family and friends. If you do have family and friends who are massively supportive of your decision, then that is amazing. But there's so many online communities around no buys and minimalism and low buys and shopping addictions. Find the place where you truly feel supported and where there's people who aren't going to judge you, and you can just be totally open and honest with how you're feeling and how it's going. And lastly, and this includes me because I do talk about products as well, it is totally okay to unfollow creators that you love if they're making you tempted to shop. This is your no-buy, your life, and it's more important that you're achieving your goals than supporting other people online. If creators that you follow are promoting products and making you want to shop, then it's okay for you to unfollow them or mute them or whatever you need to do for the time being to make sure that you can achieve your no-buy basically. This is definitely a bit of a longer one, but these are all of my favorite tips. If you have any other tips as well, please let me know, and thanks for watching. Bye.
The sooner you stop buying so much makeup, the better. Now listen, I love makeup. I have been wearing it since I was 18. I'm obsessed. Eyeliner, lashes, lipstick, everything. But the market is literally made for you to just keep purchasing new releases, new things from new brands, and you rarely actually use them. And I've been a victim. Ever since I went to uni in London, I was opened up to the whole world of makeup, and my close friend at the time also loved makeup, so we were not a good combination. Every day we were in Superdrug, Space NK, Selfridges, trying out these new products, looking at all the new product releases. It was a time when ABH were coming out with these new amazing palettes, and there was a big revolution in makeup, and makeup was getting better. But reflecting and looking back at that, I did not need all of that, and I promise you I still have all those palettes and makeup products at the bottom of my makeup drawer, and I literally just never use them. It's so easy to compulsively buy or impulse buy makeup that you don't need, and I think over the past 2-3 years I've really been working on only buying the things that work for me, the things that I'm going to run out of. So foundation, concealer, maybe sometimes mascara, maybe sometimes lipsticks, and actually trying to get through this never-ending surplus of makeup that I have. And as soon as I detached myself of this ongoing makeup release and makeup industry, I felt so much better about my appearance. I didn't feel that I needed the latest product. I honestly don't know any of these new makeup brands that are coming out on TikTok, and my makeup is nice. My makeup is flawless. Just sticking to the products that you know work for you. And, quit trying a new foundation. Like, if there's nothing wrong with your foundation and you've been wearing it for years, you don't need to buy a new foundation. I've been using the same foundation since first year, NARS Sheer Glow. I try other ones and they never work out for me, and I always end up going back to it. And I just have so many different foundations that I don't know what to do with now. But the quicker you realize that makeup is it's just meant to be for you and what works for you, and just stop buying so many makeup products. And I say this to myself before anyone else. Sometimes I walk past Selfridges and I'm like, oh, what's this Tom Ford highlighter? Maybe I need it. And I just snap back and I'm like, I don't need it. I do not need it. Anyway, rant over.
55 days ago, I went through my whole makeup collection and I came to the conclusion that I have a very overconsumptual makeup collection. I am now on day 55 of my total makeup no buy. And I know that I'm in the very beginning of this journey right now, but I'm still thinking about what I'm gonna do after I have to end the no buy, because obviously the makeup products that I have are not gonna last me forever. So today I want to talk about what I'm going to be doing differently when I start buying makeup again. First thing that I want to do is keep a dynamic list of all the makeup products that I own, and I'm actually already doing this with the no buy. I'm listing out all the products that I want to use up, but what I want to do in the future is write down the date when I bought the product and when I opened the product, and I'm gonna track down when the product is gonna expire. And I also want to add the price to it so I can see, like, okay, I paid 50 euros for this blush, I do want to use it before it expires. And I'm aware that this might be a little bit lame to do as someone who considers makeup as a hobby and something that's relaxing, but I think just making the purchasing part more conscious like this is gonna make it more relaxing for me, because I'm not gonna have so much excess around me. The second rule I'm gonna have after my makeup no buy is no spontaneous makeup shopping at all. If I get the need to buy a new makeup product, I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write down, I need a concealer, I need a blush. If I go to shop, I can think about, okay, which concealer or which blush do I wanna get, but I'm not gonna be buying, for example, a lip liner, because that's where the downhill started the last time. But since I do understand that I am just a girl and there is going to be the occasional need to buy something spontaneously to, like, have fun in my life, I guess, I'm just not gonna be buying makeup. I can buy, like, for example, a body lotion or a skincare serum or a hair mask. Those are like things that I go through very quickly. That's a way better road to take than buying a blush that's gonna stick with me for the rest of my life, because I have never used up a single blush in my life. But yeah, no spontaneous makeup shopping. The third and final rule I'm gonna have for myself after this makeup no buy is that I'm only gonna be buying products that I'm gonna be using either daily or at least weekly. So for me personally, this means no more buying colorful eyeshadows or pink highlighters that I'm only going to be using once a year when I go to a festival, or buying those glitters that you put on your face. I mean, I am not a makeup artist, I'm not going to be using those regularly. I'm of course always going to be trying out new things with makeup and new makeup products to, like, be creative, but I'm at a point in my life where I know what actually works for me personally. I'm not going to be buying products just because they work for someone else. It's no use, honestly. After all, makeup is very personal, and I think one of the most important parts of it is to buy products that make you feel authentically yourself.
I'm banning myself from buying any makeup for all of 2024. It is an incredibly long time, and I'm putting a lot of things in place to make sure that I'm not tempted to buy new makeup along the way. So first of all, I'm detoxing my For You page. So I'm actually going through and using engagement, so by likes and comments. I'm actually tailoring my For You page to show more about minimalism, no buys, project pans, and just things that aren't pushing me to buy new products. And alongside that, I'm also following a lot more of these types of accounts and unfollowing any accounts which are going to be tempting me to buy more makeup. I'm also turning off any phone notifications and deleting any apps from brands that might tempt me as well. I'm shopping my stash, so if I do happen to see a product that I really like, I'm going into my own collection and finding similar products that I can use instead. I'm creating an inventory of all of the makeup products I currently own, and I'm also keeping track of products on my wish list that I haven't bought, so I've got a really good monetary value of the money that I've saved by being on a no buy. I'm spending time getting to know my own products more and learning how to use them better so that I'm not tempted to get different products and new products that I really don't need. Lastly, I'm creating TikTok videos all about my journey. It's a great creative outlet and I'm having so much fun doing it. So yeah, if you're on a no-buy, please share any tips that you have, pop them into the comments, and yeah, bye.
Doing buying no makeup in 2024 because I've got an obscene amount of makeup. So today is day one of doing my makeup so that I can try and get through the amount of shit that I own. I genuinely think this is going to be such a therapeutic thing for me. I really don't like this primer, but I have so much of it left that today we're going to use it. I was reading through some of the comments from my video and it seems like a lot of people are in the same boat. This isn't easy to get out of the bottle. I think it's really interesting that it's become such an issue for so many people, and so many people are starting to realize that we don't need the amount of makeup that we have. I think it's crazy that we are just living in this world of overconsumption. I was part of the 2016 YouTube era, and that was where my makeup obsession started. And then ever since then, I just think that it's been so normalized for us to buy an inhumane amount of makeup. I'd love to know how much makeup everyone has thrown away because it's gone out of date. It's actually impossible for us to go through the amount of makeup that we've bought in the allotted amount of time before it goes out of date. Also, I think it's become so common now for brands to put an obscene amount of product in. Oh my God, what have I done? How are you ever supposed to get through that again before the product ends up going out of date and you then can't use it? I also think that when brands do like deals where you get 3 blushes and it seems like a really good deal at the time, and it is a really good deal because you're getting 3 products for the price of 1, but in reality, you're never gonna get through all of those blushes, especially when they're super pigmented as well and you only need to use a tiny amount. It's such a waste. I just feel like we've been conditioned in this really unhealthy way, have this unhealthy attitude towards buying things, and it's just becoming ridiculous now. I wouldn't be surprised if there are other people my age who also were in that era that are still over consuming because that's almost what we've been brought up on. I also think that it doesn't help that a lot of beauty influencers, and this is no shade to anyone by the way, but they're constantly like, you need this product, you need this product, and you don't. You probably have 10 of the same thing in your drawer at home. I just think that it's created such a toxic environment for everybody involved. I just think that we all need to take a hard look at ourselves, what we're doing, who we're buying from, who we're trusting when people are giving us these reviews. Is it linked in TikTok Shop? Are they going to be making money from it? And is the product actually any good? If you feel the same way as me, then please join this challenge. No makeup. Do your makeup as many times as you possibly can throughout the week, and let's see how much makeup we can get through because it's a serious issue for a lot of people. I'm happy to know that I'm not alone, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Would y'all believe me if I told you that the last time I went to Sephora to buy something was 3 months ago? That might not sound super long ago, but for me, who used to run every time there was a viral product or a new release, I am genuinely so proud of myself. In fact, I went into Sephora the other day and did not feel the urge to buy a single thing. And I am going to teach you how I've done it, because overconsumption is a disease that TikTok has normalized and we must stop. So let me save you some coins. Okay, what you need to do is make yourself a checklist. This is what mine looks like. First, I ask myself if I want an item, how many of those do I already have? Let's take a foundation, for example. When the Makeup by Mario foundation came out, I asked myself, how many foundations do I have? How many do I have in my drawer right now that I love that I'm using in rotation? If it's more than 3 or 5, the answer is that you probably do not need it. Next question is, with what I have in my house, can I make something similar? So for example, I've seen people take a foundation and just mix a few liquid highlight drops in there, and that is the same effect as a very glowy foundation. So did you really have to buy the foundation? No, you didn't. You really could have just DIY'd it. Third question is, how long have I wanted this item? I'm going to tell you that if the answer is less than a month, then put the item back and come back later. Sometimes I wanted an item just because it was a new release or it was viral at the moment, and I didn't give myself enough time to really sit with it and see if I actually wanted it. So write it down somewhere on a note, on a list, come back to it a month later, and if you still really want it, then that should give you enough permission to go buy it. Next question is, if everyone stopped talking about this item, would I still want it? Again, this is just about virality. If no one was talking about this product, if you didn't feel FOMO, would you still want it? And if the answer is no, then you do not need it. Put it back. And lastly, is it overpriced? Be honest. If you're trying to buy a lip gloss that costs $50, you know damn well you can get that same lip gloss for like 10 bucks. It's like, you don't really need it, you don't really want it, and it's overpriced, which means it's not good for your wallet. Put it back.
Last month, I made a promise to myself that I'm going to stop buying any more makeup indefinitely until I completely finish that product and all of its backups.
I completely agree with her. I've been wanting to get down to a more minimalist makeup collection for quite some time, but where I'm a beauty lover, I love my makeup, I love skincare, I love all of it, I have overconsumed. I bought a lot of makeup last year, and I do try to be mindful about how big my makeup collection is, but I still get sucked into like all the new products. You've got to try the latest thing, it's amazing, and that keeps happening. You keep trying the new thing and something new comes in its place, and before you know it, your collection has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and mine is at a point where it's just too big. It's too big for my wants or my needs. I don't need this much makeup, I don't want this much makeup. Now, it's not a huge collection. In total, there are 92 pieces of makeup, which for some people is probably too much. For some people, it's probably a good target to get down to. But for me, it is too large a makeup collection. I would want to get down to 1-2 products per category, apart from lips, because I do love myself a lip product. And I just want it to be a lot smaller, so I'm not feeling like I'm putting on a load of makeup products every single day, and that I only have what I need, because it is still makeup, but what I want, and I'm not bombarded with so many pieces of makeup in my collection. So I'm putting myself on a replacement only no buy this year. So that means that I can only buy a piece of makeup if I have completely used up everything else within its category. So if I use up a mascara, as long as I have no other mascaras in my collection, I can go and buy a new one. So my aim isn't to use up every single bit of makeup that I have, but it's just to get down to a much smaller collection overall, and where I don't have duplicates for a lot of the categories. So for example, I have 6 foundations. I don't need 6 foundations. I want to have 1, 2 maximum. I do not need 6. So yeah, the overall aim is to reduce my overall collection, make it a lot smaller. So I really do hope that I'm going to get there by the end of the year, and it's going to look so much better than it currently does.
The past few years, I have been on a mission to curate down my makeup collection so that it only consists of products that I actually use and enjoy. As part of this, I'm currently on a makeup no buy, so I'm not bringing anything new into my collection to ensure that I really get the most use as possible out of everything that I have. One change that I am making in 2024 is a new project. I am starting a blush roulette. Basically what this means is I have way too many blushes in my collection and I'm not using them all. So I think I have about 15 cream and powder blushes. Some of them definitely get more use than others, and I want to get at least some use out of each of them over the course of 2024. So what I'm going to do is every month select a different blush to focus on and make sure that I am using that blush quite a bit over the course of the month. So let's talk about January's blush. we've got this very, very old NYX blush in the shade Bourgeois Pig. I cannot tell you how long I have had this blush. As you can see, it is a very bright pink shade, which is just not my preference anymore. Like light baby pinks, I don't love. Part of the goal of this collection is, yes, to get use out of all of my blushes, but also to declutter the blushes that I don't actually love anymore. And I'm kind of thinking that this might be one of them. It also has definite hard pan, and I don't really want to scrape that top layer off. That is the shade there. I am actually wearing this today in combination with a cream blush underneath. Let me know what you think of the shade. Everyone is welcome to join this project. Even if you don't want to join this project, I hope this encourages you to reach for those older products that you have just kind of forgotten about, gotten neglected. I will check in at the end of January, let you know if I have fallen back in love with this blush or if it's going to get decluttered. Bye.